The lake was a mirror of pine and sky, its surface broken only by the soft ripple of my fishing line. I thought I was alone, the only soul on Silver Pine Lake that chilly spring morning. Then it came. A scream, not human, sharp and desperate, cutting through the stillness. My head snapped toward the far shoreline, nearly tipping the boat. At first, nothing, just water, reeds, and sunlight flickering like all was well. Then I saw it. A dark shape thrashing where the reeds met the lake, a tiny form struggling, sinking, gone. My heart stopped. A German Shepherd puppy, barely 6 months old, was drowning. I didn't think. Boots kicked off, fishing pole tossed aside. I dove into the freezing water. It hit like a blade, stealing my breath, but I swam hard, eyes locked, on the spot where he'd vanished. Every second was a countdown. He was too small, too far, too cold. My arms burned as I reached the reeds, fingers brushing something soft. Wet fur, limp, lifeless. For one awful moment, I thought he was gone. Then a faint twitch, a jerk of his paw. Alive. I pulled him to my chest, kicking back to the boat, his soaked body shivering against me. His head lolled, eyes closed. No sound, just a fragile weight that shouldn't have been in that lake. In the boat, I wrapped him in my jacket, hands shaking as I shouted into the wind, "Stay with me. Don't quit." The motor roared as I tore toward the dock, cradling him, his chest barely moving. A faint wheeze escaped his mouth, proof he was fighting. I didn't have a plan, just a dying puppy and a gut-deep need to keep him alive. The truck screamed into Northwood Veterinary Clinic, tires skidding. I burst through the door, dripping lake water, yelling, "Emergency, he's not breathing right." The receptionist jumped, a tech ran out, and I placed him on the exam table, reluctant to let go. 3 people worked fast, oxygen mask, heated blankets, a shot. Someone pressed his ribs rhythmically, clearing water from his lungs. Then he coughed, a weak rasp, but it was something. German Shepherd puppy, male, maybe 6 months, the vet said, checking his heart. Hypothermic, near drowning, but he's got a pulse. I stood frozen, dripping, fists clenched. Will he make it? Her eyes were serious but calm. 5 minutes later and we'd be having a different conversation. My stomach dropped. 5 minutes. They moved him to a warming unit, a small chamber under heat lamps, an IV in his leg. He looked like a ghost, but he was there. "You can sit with him," a tech offered. I pulled a chair close, hand on his icy paw, whispering, "You fought out there. Don't stop now. I've got you." Time blurred. Minutes or hours, I couldn't tell. Then his paw twitched, a tiny shiver, like a spark refusing to die. I leaned closer, whispering, "Come back, buddy." The tech nodded. "He's stabilizing. He's got fight in him." Relief cracked through me. I didn't know his story, but I knew he wasn't going back to whatever left him in that lake. The vet let me take him home that evening with strict instructions. Keep him warm, fed, quiet. I cleared a space by the fireplace in my Northwood cabin, laying down a flannel blanket. The puppy, still limp, curled instinctively as I set him down, his breathing shallow. The house felt different with him in it. I'd lived alone since Sarah passed 6 years ago. The silence my only companion. I liked it that way. Or thought I did. Now, with this soaked pup by my boots, the silence felt empty, heavy with something new. I knelt, drying his fur gently, careful not to jostle him. His ribs showed through matted fur, paws twitching in dreams I couldn't imagine. No collar, no chip, just a tattered blue ribbon around his neck, like someone had cared once, then forgotten. I fed him broth by spoon, his tongue lapping weakly. Each movement a small victory. I smiled. "That's it, kid, we'll be all right." That night I dozed in the armchair, waking to a soft whine. His eyes were open, barely, watching me with a wariness that asked if I was real or another shadow in a cruel world. I didn't move, just let him look. He blinked, head falling back to the blanket. It was enough. Morning brought frost on the windows, spring still shy in Northwood. His chest rose steadily now, a rhythm that cracked something open in me, relief or something older. I brought more broth. He licked it from my fingers, trembling but trying. "It's just you and me," I said, catching my tired reflection in the cup. A memory stirred. Me at 10, a German Shepherd puppy named Bonnie chewing my socks. I hadn't thought of her in years, her nails clicking on the kitchen floor. This pup, with no name yet, carried his own ghosts. His paws kicked in sleep, a low whimper escaping like he was running from something. "You're safe now," I whispered, and he settled, eyes fluttering. I named him Rex, the word slipping out naturally. "Rex," I said again. Softer. He blinked, no flinch, as if open to learning what it meant. That evening, he lifted his head, watching the breeze stir the curtains through the open door. He didn't move, just observed, like remembering how to be in the world. I sat nearby and he crawled closer, not touching, just near enough for me to hear his breath. The house wasn't silent anymore. It held his presence, a steady pulse that filled the emptiness I'd carried too long. Days passed and Rex grew stronger, his wobbly steps a quiet defiance. By the fourth morning, he followed me to the door, eyes alert, no sound, just watching. I opened it, spring air carrying pine and mud. "Want to come outside?" His tail didn't wag, but he didn't retreat. On the porch, he tested each board, nose twitching at sap and smoke. Then he froze, head turned toward the lake, ears flat, breathing fast. A duck splashed far out, and he bolted back inside, scrambling, to the blanket, whimpering. I followed, kneeling. "I'm sorry, I should have known." A scar circled his neck, hidden under fur, not a collar but rope, tight and cruel. Someone hadn't just abandoned him, they'd left him to drown. The next day, we tried a different path, away from the lake. Rex sniffed branches, chased a pine cone, his first hint of play. A car door slammed in the distance and he dropped flat, body rigid, eyes wide. I knelt. "No one's coming for you." 5 minutes passed before he stood, trusting me enough to move. His fear wasn't random, it was memory etched deep. But he followed me, step by cautious step, and that was enough. That afternoon, I found him standing by the door again, steadier, testing the world. We walked to the wood's edge, his nose alive with smells. He paused, glancing at the lake, but didn't run. I crouched. That won't happen again. He stepped closer beside me and we returned home. He ate more, nudged the empty bowl, asking without fear. On the porch, he curled by my boot, eyes closing in the breeze, a soft sigh escaping, a weight shifting, letting him breathe. I called Eagle Ridge K9 Rescue, reporting him as the vet asked. Sarah, kind and professional, offered to take him, find a home. I thanked her, hung up, and looked at Rex, curled on the rug. "I don't know if I can let you go," I whispered. His presence had changed the house, the silence now warm, alive. I hadn't planned for a dog, not after losing Mabel, my last shepherd. But Rex had slipped past my walls, his fight waking something in me I thought was gone. A spring storm hit fast, wind howling, rain hammering the cabin. Rex hated storms, hiding under the table at the first thunder. This one was worse. Trees groaned, power flickered. He paced by the door, ears back, eyes on the swaying pines like they held his nightmares. A loud snap broke the chaos, a tree falling. I grabbed a flashlight, rushing to the deck. The old pine by the shed was down, sprawled across the trail. Then I heard it, a bark, desperate, distant. Rex was outside. I ran into the rain, flashlight beam jerking through the trees following his barks. I found him at the fallen tree, pawing frantically, digging. The light caught a small raccoon trapped under branches, barely alive. Rex looked at me, not with panic but purpose. He hadn't run in fear. He'd gone back for something weaker. I knelt, soaked, whispering, "You're not who they tried to make you." We couldn't save the raccoon, but Rex stayed by its crate all night, calm, vigilant, as if guarding its final moments. Morning brought a scrubbed sky, pale blue and quiet. Rex stretched in a patch of sunlight, eyes brighter than ever. His coat was damp, but he was stronger, more present. I stood with coffee watching him, the puppy who saw pain and chose not to look away. He'd changed me, pulled me from my own silence. I knew then he was ready for more than my cabin could offer, a family, a child to guard, a new story. I called Sarah again, scheduling her visit. That day we walked the trail, Rex pausing by the lake without flinching, his trust in me steady. He sat by my knee, head on my boot, as if he'd always belonged. But I saw his potential, a guardian, a healer, not just mine, but someone else's. His fight wasn't just survival, it was purpose, and I had to let him share it. Sarah arrived the next day, her van kicking up dust on the dirt road. Rex walked to her slowly, sniffed her hand, then sat at my feet, looking up as if asking, "Are you sure?" I knelt, hand on his chest. "You've got this. You were made to help someone." His eyes held mine, steady, trusting. He jumped into her car, head turned toward me until they vanished. The house was quiet again, but not empty. His blanket stayed by the fire, his name carved above it on a cedar plank. I walked the lake's edge later, finding a wrecked boat in the reeds, a frayed rope and blue fabric like Rex's ribbon. He'd been tied, left to drown, but fought free. I didn't call the sheriff. Justice wasn't the answer. Healing was. Rex had shown me that, waking hope I hadn't felt since Sarah's death. Weeks later, I heard from Eagle Ridge. Rex was with a family, guarding a little girl, his limp fading, his eyes bright. I saw him in my mind, tail wagging, ears perked, showing someone else the way. He hadn't just survived. He'd reminded me that even broken souls carry light. His fight, his trust, had pulled me from my own lake, teaching me to live again. Nonprofits like Eagle Ridge gave him that chance, and me mine. If this story moves you, share it. Another puppy is waiting, and someone like you can be their hope.